Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. We're delighted to welcome you to the service today. To start us off, I'd love to take a moment to thank you for being here and turn it over to Amber Darlin, our incredible music director. Take it away, Amber.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day for love. Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love. Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. And for peace, thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. This healing, this healing, this healing peace. This healing, this healing, this healing peace. For this day, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing it out. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. And for love, thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love. Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. This healing, this healing, this healing 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 peace. Good morning, everybody. We're so glad you're here today. If you are online, take a minute. We love to see your comments. Let us know you're out there. Let each other know that you're out there. It's a great way to stay connected and feel a part of the spiritual community even when we are apart. We're still together. So thanks again for being here. Let's sing My Soul is Welcome Here. Supposed to be. I'm in the right place My soul is welcome here. One more time. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Thanks for singing along. All right, we're going to head over to our practitioner of the day for an invocation prayer.
Hello, all my friends out there in cyberspace. I'm happy to be with you in spirit today. I'm Heidi, and I will be glad to offer you a prayer. I open my heart and my mind and remember who and what I am, who and what we are. We are sacred beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and oh, what a human experience this is. I remember the truth that there is always spirit available to act in us, as us, and through us. It is available to me now as power, as peace, and as joy. I release any fear, anxiety, and anger, an old patterning that gets in the way of this truth of who I am. I recognize the light in everyone and everything. We walk on sacred ground. I am so grateful. And so it is.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Let's sing that again. Loving Spirit dwells in me. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. just love that song. So I'm going to play one more for you before we head over to Dr. Andrea. And this one we haven't sung in quite a while, and it's a song I wrote last year, and it's taken on a whole new meaning now with the pandemic, and just how I don't know how you're feeling out there, but I feel like now we've been kind of in this kind of sort of isolation for long enough that my daily routines have become also ordinary again. Like for a while there, it seemed almost novel, right? That that there was this newness to it, and I can do all these projects and do all these things, and then now we're sitting in it for a while, and so to kind of find a way to break out of habit and routine during this time has become my newest challenge. This is called Something New, and it's about making newness every day, I would say, and that we all together, collectively, even in the greater whole, need to be working on drawing new maps for where we're going. So ordinary, bored and complacent, tired of the baggage we've been carrying, dreaming of another world, spend all our time wishing our life could be different than the one that we're living. Over and over we're doing the same thing, predictable illusions of safety. To change our ways, we gotta change our minds. Our thoughts create reality, we seek what we find. So draw another map, pick up the pace, or maybe slow it down. It's never been a race at all. Let's leave the mundane, be more than getting through. Gotta be different to be different, to make something new. So you be brave and I'll be daring. You be impractical and let's stop caring what they think or what they say. When we step out of line, we'll be making waves and doing just fine. Draw another map, pick up the pace, or maybe slow it down. It's never been a race, so let's leave the mundane, be more than getting through. Gotta be different to be different, to make something new. So draw another map, pick up the pace, or maybe slow it down. It's never been a race at all. Let's leave the mundane, be more than getting through. Gotta be different to be different, to make something new. Gotta be different to be different, to make something new. Be different to be different, let's make something new. Thanks, everyone. We're going to head over to Dr. Andrea Asebedo for the message of the day.
Amber, we're having some troubles. Can you sing another song?
Oh, we're having a little technical difficulty, are we? Are we there? Yes, perhaps?
That's right. Smile beautiful.
Are we there? No.
Yes.
Could you sing
Okay, here we are.
Oh, here we are.
This new reality. Amber's absolutely right. We have to be different, and we need to draw some new maps. And of course, she was tuning into what I have to say today. My topic today is glorious diversity, which is under the theme of the month, the power of diversity. And I wanted to read you from an article I was reading by James Hollis. He was being interviewed, And he's a very famous author and Jungian analyst, which to be an analyst takes a lot. And he wrote a book. One of his first books was called The Middle Passage. And this is what he said. When I wrote my first book, I was freshly back from training in Switzerland and seeing people with different issues and different histories. But one thing they all had in common was that their understanding of self and the world, it was no longer effective, if it ever was. Their roadmap was no longer applicable to the territory in which they found themselves. And I thought that's what happens during a passage. Something has to die and something else wants to emerge. You're caught in that difficult in between. And you know, I actually think that's where we are. And one of my favorite words from a couple years back was liminal. And liminal describes the place where the ocean and the shore meet, and it's not quite all ocean, but it's not quite all shore. It's kind of a sloshy in between place. And I think we're in that sloshy place. And to cope with that sloshy place, just as Amber was indicating in her song, a lot of times what happens is we develop new habits that hold us into a feeling of security, but often limit our ability to move forward and to actually experience our lives in newness. It's sort of like a comfortable trap. And so I wanted to talk about that and glorious diversity today. And so I've brought you a story. Would you like to hear it? I hear a couple of people saying yes. So this story is actually in the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And she is, I'm going to probably mangle the word here, but I'm going to give it a try. Anishkanabekye, which means an Ojibwe woman, who's also a scientist. And she's written this lovely book that's regained popularity again now that we're dealing with many, many different issues. And this is a story from her people that I wanted to bring to you to discuss glorious diversity. So here it is. In the winter, when the green earth lies resting beneath a blanket of snow, this is the time for storytelling. The storytellers begin by calling upon those who came before, who passed the stories down to us, for we are only messengers. And in the beginning, there was the sky world. She fell like a maple seed, pirouetting on an autumn breeze. A column of light streamed from a hole in the sky world, marking her path where only darkness had been before. It took her a long time to fall. In fear or maybe hope, she clutched a bundle tightly in her hand. Hurtling downward, she saw only dark waters below. But in that emptiness, there were many eyes gazing up at the sudden shaft of light. They saw there a small object, a mere dust mote in the beam. As it grew closer, they could see that it was a woman, arms outstretched, long black hair billowing behind as she spiraled toward them. The geese nodded at one another and rose together from the water in a wave of goose music. She felt the beat of their wings as they flew beneath her to break her fall. Far from the only home she'd ever known, she caught her breath as the warm embrace of soft feathers carried her downward. And so it began. The geese could not hold the woman above the water for much longer, so they called a council to decide what to do. Resting on their wings, she saw them all gather. Loons, otters, swans, beavers, fish of all kinds. A great turtle floated in their midst and offered his back to her to rest upon. Gratefully, she stepped from the goose wings onto the dome of her shell. The others understood that she needed land for her home and discussed how they might serve her need. The deep divers among them had heard of mud at the bottom of the water and agreed to go find some. Loon dove first, but the distance was too far, and after a long while he surfaced with nothing to show for his efforts. One by one, the other animals offered to help: otter, beaver, sturgeon. But the depth, the darkness, and the pressures were too great for even the strongest of swimmers. They returned gasping for air with their heads ringing. Some did not return at all. Soon, only little Muskrat was left, the weakest diver of them all. He volunteered to go while the others looked on doubtfully. His small legs flailed as he worked his way downward, and he was gone a very, very long time. They waited and waited for him to return, fearing the worst for their relative, and before long, a stream of bubbles rose from the small, limp body of the muskrat. He had given his life to aid this helpless human. But then the others noticed that his paw was clenched tightly, and when they opened it, there was a small handful of mud. Turtle said, "Here, put it on my back, and I will hold it." Sky Woman bent and spread the mud with her hands across the shell of the turtle. Moved by the extraordinary gifts of the animals, she sang in thanksgiving and then began to dance, her feet caressing the small area of mud on the turtle's back. The land grew and grew as she danced her thanks, from the daub of mud on Turtle's back until the whole earth was made, not by Sky Woman alone, but from the alchemy of all the animals' gifts, coupled with her deep gratitude. Together, they formed what they know today as Turtle Island, our home. Like any good guest, Sky Woman had not come empty-handed. The bundle was still clutched in her hand. When she toppled from the hole in the sky world, she had reached out to grab onto the tree of life that grew there. In her grasp were branches, fruits, and seeds of all kinds of plants. These she scattered onto the new ground and carefully tended each one until the world turned from brown to green. Sunlight streamed through the hole from the sky world, allowing the seeds to flourish. Wild grasses, flowers, trees, and medicines spread everywhere. And now that the animals too had plenty to eat, many came to live with her on Turtle Island. So that's a powerful story for me. And I thank Robin for bringing it to us and sharing it with us. A story that many of us would never have heard had she not written that book and been willing to share from her people. So what does it have to do with the power of diversity and my talk about glorious diversity? Well, it has several different things that we need to think about contained in that story. First of all, one of the notable things about that particular story is that the assistance that we humans receive comes from many, many different creatures. And I'll talk a lot about this in our August series of talks on interbeing. But for now, I'll say that this story is significant to me because the earth was formed from the efforts of many and from the dance of gratitude that the human had that brought it to life. And so that's my first point. So here we are in this liminal space, in this betwixt and betweens place where many, many different things are changing all at once. And to sacred humans, this is a time that's uncertain and often difficult and challenging. And we could do what many of us have turned to doing, which is creating new habits that stabilize us, but are not necessarily gifts to our growth. Or we could do a dance of gratitude and allow the uncertainty and the betwixt and between of where we are to enter our hearts in such a way that we remain open and remain willing to listen to our deep guidance as we navigate this place that we've never been before. One of my favorite navigators is a man who died of a heart attack on his honeymoon in his 50s, who wrote and wrote and shared his ability to navigate uncertainty. And so I thought I would bring a saying from John O'Donohue to you. This is one of his prose poems from this book, To Bless the Space Between Us. And this is called For the Traveler. So imagine that he's speaking to you, traveler, in this betwixt and between place that we find ourselves in. Every time you leave home, another road takes you into a world you were never in. I think we're there. New strangers on other paths await. New places that have never seen you will startle a little at your entry. All old places that you knew well will pretend nothing changed since your last visit. When you travel, you find yourself alone in a different way, more attentive now to the self you bring along. Your more subtle eye watching you abroad, and how what meets you touches that part of the heart that lies low at home. How you unexpectedly attune to the timbre in some voices, opening a conversation you want to take in to where your longing has pressed hard enough inward on some unsaid dark to create a crystal of insight you could not have known you needed to illuminate your way. When you travel in this betwixt and between place, a new silence goes with you. And if you listen, you will hear what your heart would love to say. If you listen, you will hear what your heart would love to say. A journey can become a sacred thing. Make sure before you go to take the time to bless your going forth, to free your heart of the ballast so that the compass of your soul might direct you toward the territories of spirit where you will discover more of your hidden life and the urgencies that deserve to claim you. May you travel in an awakened way, O traveler, gathered wisely into your inner ground, that you may not waste the invitations which await along the way to transform you. John O'Donohue. So one of the things that his poem brings to the table with Sky Woman's story is the need to remain open and to clear the ballast of fear or uncertainty from the heart enough so that you can hear what the heart is longing to say, and so that you can navigate new territory without being held back by the brakes of fear that would want to take you into a comfortable cocoon that actually you no longer fit in. So we clear the ballast of the heart by really taking in the fact that we're in a passage where the old maps of how we used to navigate no longer apply, that we're in a passage that requires us to be very alert and awake so that we can navigate the new territory with a mind and a heart that's open to discerning what's available, what's there, which direction to go. And so Sky Woman's story goes on, and it talks about how these animals who knew her not were willing to give their lives so that she might also have a home. And when the last of them brought back the mud, she spread it on the back of the turtle and danced a dance of gratitude. And as she danced with recognition of all who had helped her create, the world grew and grew and grew to Turtle Island. So my question to you is, are you dancing? Are you dancing in a way that remembers that you did not come here by chance, that many, many beings have contributed, human and otherwise, to make it so that you could be in this very moment of passage when we've lost so many to a virus that can't be seen? We are here in this time with hearts and minds wide open, called to dance, called to discover new ways of being in this world that is transforming before our very eyes. are you dancing? And what would that look like? And how would the gratitude take you into that dance? See, I think that one of the things that happens for us is when we're in uncertainty. I can't say this for you, but I'll say for me that there's a tendency to want to silo. Do you know what that means? It means to stay in a place where everything is the same. So the same people, the same thoughts, the same ideas, the same news channel, the same newspaper, the same Facebook comments, everything the same. And yet when Sky Woman danced her dance of gratitude, she had brought from that other world, from the tree of life, a multiplicity, a diversity of seeds that as she tended to them in this new earth, became the medicines and the food and the nourishment for the entire world. And what I would say to myself, and maybe to you if you're like me, is that it's time for us to stop siloing, whether we're siloing with people that are like us in gender conformity or not, in sexual identity, in political views, in educational status levels, whatever the silo might be, it's time to step away from that way of being and to expose ourselves to new ideas and new thoughts, new territories. Is it going to be comfortable? Absolutely not. I am the most uncomfortable I have been in my life in decades. But I am committed in this new territory to not seek the comfort of people that say the same thing that I already know. I'm committed to not just looking at the same things that I've always looked at, but to break out of that mold and be open to what the whole new territory may be saying and offering to me, to be open to the medicine that's in a larger world than the one that I was inhabiting. You know what it is about diversity? I don't know if you're aware, but I live with a scientist person. And when we go through certain fields that have been planted with the same crop, there's a comment that's often made about monocultures and how destructive they are to the earth, and how we need to apply all these different fertilizers, often artificial fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, so that those crops will continue to be able to grow because they've already depleted the soil of the nutrients that made them in the first place. Well, in a way, our culture in the world has become very monocultured. And I think it's time for us to look at the power of diversity and the gloriousness of that diversity and begin to ask ourselves the question, where am I planting the same thing in the same field over and over? Where am I needing artificial stimulation to continue to just live my life? Where am I turning again and again to habits in order to simply survive in the monoculture that I've created for my life? And again, we turn to the dance of gratitude and the remembrance of the incredible, glorious diversity that has supported us thus far. This is not news, really, but for me as a person, it's made me aware of the places in my own heart and mind where I have sought comfort rather than adventure, where I have sought the cocoon of similarity and safety rather than the unknown territory where anything might happen. And it's made me aware that as a spiritual traveler on a spiritual path, that way of living must end. It must end. It's not that there won't be rest houses along the way. It's not that there won't be places of great beauty to nourish and rest my soul and my spirit. But those are way stations along the way of the spiritual path, not meant to be lived in, only meant to be visited, so that bit by bit I'm walking forward into the unknown over and over, using the spiritual tools that I've developed thus far in exploration and unfoldment of my own spirit. It's time for us to do this again. It's time for us to step out in our spiritual journey, in our physical journey. It's time for us to be more than we've known ourselves to be, to celebrate diversity in all of its ways in our life, and to dance the dance of gratitude for all the ways that life is bringing us new ideas, new understanding, and new ways, offering itself like the muskrat, holding the mud in its paw, offering itself so that we can create a new earth and a new way for sacred humans like us and for all species everywhere. I invite you to join me in that new way, in the courageous efforts of moving forward along this betwixt and between path, to use the spiritual tools that I know you have to move your life forward out of the sameness and into the diversity that is being offered everywhere. So I'm going to do a prayer for myself, and if you would like this prayer to be active in your life, all you have to do is, while you're listening, say, yes, and me too. So please join me in this prayer. I am grateful. Grateful for this life, grateful for this body, grateful for this incredible Mother Earth, for all that she offers us in so many ways. Grateful for the glorious diversity that has been created on this planet. And now, aware in gratitude of all that is being offered, I turn to the one that dwells within me as me, that operates through me, that is the infinite intelligence and wisdom of all that is. I turn to that source of life, that source of wisdom, that source of love. And I imbibe deeply, deeply from that one so that I may move forward on my spiritual path, nourished by my understanding of my connection to all that is, and willing and ready to explore the new territories that are presenting themselves to me. I will not whine on this journey. That was what I did when I was a child, and I am not a child. And so instead, I will embrace the newness, the unknown, the uncertainty of the spiritual path and the path the world is taking, with the understanding of grounded love and grounded wisdom supporting me. I clear away from my heart any fear, any doubt, so that I may listen deeply to the voice of intuition, the guidance system that I have been given to know which way to go and how far to travel before resting. In this way, I am renewed, I am supported, I am uplifted, and I am propelled forward in a glorious dance of gratitude all my life long. And I am grateful for you, for me, for the spiritual path, and for the infinite indwelling spirit that holds us all. And so it is. All right. So with those words, I'm going to take you into a very pragmatic announcements and let you know that there are a couple things that you might want to be aware of. Let me grab them. I know that one of them is that we are starting a new book study, and no matter where you are in the world, because it's offered on Zoom, we invite you to come and be a part of it if you would like. I know I have some wonderful spirit circles joining me, and welcome to you from all over. You're welcome to join us as well. What we're doing is starting on Wednesday, August 19th at 5:30 in the evening Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing a 6-week book study on the book How to Be Anti-Racist. It's a very affirming book. It's a very amazing book, and we're inviting you to come and speak with others who are in study with the book. You'll have 2 practitioners of the science of mind guiding your way, Francine Kitchen and Joanne Allison, and we'd love you to be a part of it. Wednesdays for 6 weeks, starting the 19th at 5:30. It goes for about an hour and a half. Love you to be there. And then the other thing that's happening here locally is that we're in a very betwixt and between place with our phases, and we are allowed to gather 5 people together. And so we've decided to host a series of garden parties with 5 people and me, or 5 people and one of my friends. And we're offering a multitude of different opportunities for you. Some of them are very creative, like we have a writing garden party that's going to be using writing prompts to invite you to write and then share. We have soul collage happening with some of my friends, and you'll be invited to create some pandemic soul collage cards, whatever that means. We have some, I'm a longtime meditator, and so I'm going to be offering guided meditation and meditation practice in some of the garden parties. And then there'll be an opportunity to just come and hang out with me and ask questions of a spiritual nature or whatever. And so if you would like to be a part of these garden parties, they do require a couple things. We need you to register for them so that we know which ones have filled. We also want you to know that we're adding garden parties as those fill. So if you let us know which one you would like first and second choice, we'll put your name on the list. Some of them are already full, some of them are getting full. How do you register? You email the center at info@csl-bellingham.org, and we will put you into one of the groups and have you come. And there are some guidelines we'll be sending you, things like wear a mask, bring your own chair, bring your own water, that sort of thing. We'd love you to be a part of it. They're happening through August. I also want to take this time to thank you very much for your donations. Wow, this is an interesting time, and I am so grateful that you are donating to the work that I'm doing and so many of us are doing to support our center and our campus. It really means a lot. So thank you so much. I think that's it for now, but I'd like to turn you back over to Amber for one closing song with a gratitude piece for you being here. I'll see you next week.
Unmute yourself.
Righty. All right, I think we're here, although I'm hearing you might be hearing some other folks out there. Perhaps Deb needs to mute herself. I'm not sure. We're still figuring out some of this technological stuff. Every week it changes. Anyway, thank you so much again for your donations. Thank you, Andrea, for that message. And let's sing out into this day with this song. It's a new one that I've been sharing a couple times with you so far. Just hope you're catching on to it. One step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Let's sing that again. Gonna climb this mountain, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing you down, leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. That's all it takes, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. So grateful for this community. Thanks for joining us today with the Bellingham Center for Spiritual Living, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody.